So prevention is better than cure, as we know. So a situation happened in Nottingham. A guy had what did he have? Paranoid schizophrenia. He ended up killing 3 people, and I think he injured 3 people. So I watched a documentary the other night about him, and I just want to go over a few key points. So his mum, I believe, or family members told the mental health institutions that he was not well. So he got sectioned, but they let him out after a month, which I'm not sure why. I don't know if he kind of finessed his way out of it, or there's a stigma against black men and they just think they're aggressive, so they let him go. I don't know. I haven't got the figures. I don't know why. I haven't got the facts. I'm just wondering why. So basically, there was a couple of situations that happened. He even went to London because he thought that MI50, I don't know, is it MI5? That doesn't even matter anyway. Basically, he was knocking on their building of the Secret Service. So the police had to come because he was paranoid. Obviously, he's got paranoid schizophrenia, and he basically thought they was out to get him. So that happens. This is years before the tragic event that happened in Nottingham, and basically there was one event where they went to his house to apprehend him and section him, but he got aggressive and then he hit the police officer, I believe, over the head, or headbutted them. So that's a situation there. There was another situation, and by the way, he wasn't taking his medication. They seen all the medication on the side. And then there was another situation where he didn't work. He lived in a shared accommodation, and he basically headlocked someone to the point of they nearly passed out. The police got rang there, and nothing happened. So, and there was a few more situations. So basically that's why I'm trying to say prevention is better than cure, because all of these events happened and he was spiraling out of control. He kept on getting sectioned. I think he got sectioned about 7 or 8 times, and they let him out after a month. Bearing in mind, his family told the people that he's still unwell. So obviously, fast forward, I think it was 2024. Don't quote me though. I haven't got the facts in front of me, but all I do know is he went on a rampage. He killed 2 students. He killed an elderly man, well, middle-aged man, I say in his 50s or whatever, going to work in his van, and then he stole his van and tried to basically mow people over. And there was a lot of comments, basically, because you know what it is, when you don't understand mental health, you think, oh yeah, like there was a lot of vulgar comments, but basically it led me on to do some research. And basically, when you have paranoid schizophrenia, which is basically the worst mental health, it's like you're not in your right mind. You're actually not in your right mind, not just saying it to try and get off with diminished responsibility. So he wasn't in his right mind. Like I said, he wasn't taking his medication. His mum said he needed additional help and he didn't get it. So obviously 3 people got murdered. 3 people, I believe, got ran over. They didn't die. So it comes to the sentencing now, and he's got life in a mental health hospital because obviously the heinous crimes that he's committed, even though he was unwell, they're still heinous crimes. And this basically leads me on to speaking about mental health in men, especially black men, because they feel like the stigma around it. They feel weak. They don't want to get the support. So basically what happens with someone like that, because he was a very smart man as well. I think he was doing like bioscience at university. So when he was in his right mind, he was actually okay. But there's a lot of stigma. So people, they don't want help. And then when it gets to the point of where he got, when you're not taking your medication and your mum and people around you, sorry for yawning, I'm just tired. Yeah, when people around you are saying basically needs additional help, it's like the person that committed the crimes, even though it is heinous, he is not to blame because he wasn't in his right mind. So basically, I don't know why the mental health system is struggling. Like I said the other day, I spoke about the NHS the other day in the car. I merely gave my opinion and then I came with the facts. So what I'm going to do with this one, in a couple of days, I'm going to draw up the facts and then speak to you about the actual facts, because the suicide rate for men is high. I'm not sure what the percentage is, but I know it's higher than women because people feel weak, they don't want to speak about certain things, and then when it gets to that stage, they're not taking medication. It can be very detrimental. So basically, the one thing that I would say is treat your mental health like your physical health. So if a man's going gym 6 days a week, which actually ties into it, actually helps your mental health anyway. But there's other things that you can do, like you can read, you can listen to music, you can when you try new things, like trying new skills or whatever, that helps with your mental health. I believe walking in nature, like around the trees and stuff, that really helps with mental health as well. So there's I think the car was flashing me because I didn't have my lights on. Yeah, so there's many things that you can do to help yourself. One thing I would say is do not suffer in silence, because when you start suffering in silence, mad stuff starts happening that you would not want to happen. There's been loads of scenarios where people haven't had the right help and then they've done something heinous, but when they wake up out of that illusion of normality, they realise what they did was so wrong and they feel sick to their stomach. So basically what I would say, like that guy that kept getting sectioned for months at a time, what I would have done if I was in the mental health institution, I would have checked up on him daily to see if he's taking his medication, or send someone round to actually administrate his medication, because that is a recipe for disaster. And then innocent people lose their lives, and also a man that was suffering with his mental health, high mental health as well, paranoid schizophrenia, went into a state of psychosis and did heinous things. So basically, you need to treat your mind properly, and try and exercise, read books if you can, try new things, or like try cooking. If you've never cooked before, try cooking. Talk to people, whether that's your mom, your dad, your partner, your friends. Basically let it all out, don't keep it all bottled in, because that's when it is. And be honest as well, like if you need medication, you might not need medication, you might want therapy, but if you don't want therapy, talk to someone that you trust and you're comfortable with talking to, because talking actually does help. A lot of people suffer in silence. They might be struggling with bills, they might be struggling with something else, and because I used to work with a guy, he had a skin condition, it was all over his face and whatever. He had a wife and kids, and he went off the rails. He was drinking at work, he was a joiner, so he was cutting things absolutely wrong, and he ended up fumbling and lost his family, which it's good that he didn't do something heinous like kill people, but it was still detrimental because he didn't get the help that he needed. I think now, I believe he has sorted his situation out, so that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, always basically always check in with yourself as well. Always check in with yourself. Never think that because you're having a bad day or you don't want to speak about it to someone because you're weak, because everyone has a bad day. Don't let it spill into something that it's not, and then before you know it, you're trying to find a parking space. You're doing something that you later on regret. So basically, that's what I would say is the key to stuff. Like, if you need medication, if you need to talk to the doctors, if you need to up your dose, if you need therapy, do that. Don't wait until it's too late and then you'll regret it anyway. Because that guy that had paranoid schizophrenia, he could have possibly, if he would have took his medication, he could have prevented a lot of people suffering. And because his mum's suffering now, she knows that he's not the monster that they portrayed, but that's just the reality of it. Anyway, people, that's me gone.